First of all, last year you told me that you believe that the reason you won the election is because God put you in this place so that you could save the world. Looking back 1 year, do you feel like God is proud of the effort that you've put
I
in?
do, actually. I think God is very proud of the job I've done. And that includes for religion. You know, we're protecting a lot of people that are being killed, Christians and Jewish people, and lots of people are being protected by me that wouldn't be protected by another type of president.
So, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on the gloom and doom panel.
Yeah,
We're not
doom. You know that.
1920s were an extraordinary period. As I said at the beginning, it's not preordained that it
I
has
just
to end
love
badly.
the end note of the 1920s, which was, of course, the Great Depression, Andrew. So let's take a step back and talk about where we are right here, right now. The area of recklessness is the spending of governments around the world, who are all, with little exception, all spending well beyond their means. That's the recklessness of this moment in history. This is not a parallel to the 1920s in terms of the recklessness of the private capital markets. It's a story of the recklessness of government spending. Within the private sector, there's a huge question as to where AI will take us. And I was carefully taking notes and listening to what Larry has to say, or to what Madame Lagarde has to say, because this is one of the big issues of our moment. Will AI create the productivity acceleration that is honestly hoped for in Washington and in the halls of government around the world as a way to overcome the profligate spending that we're currently engaged in? Like, the world needs a savior. And the hope is that AI is the savior that we need for productivity. And the challenge with this is it may or may not be. We just don't know yet. Now, there's a tremendous amount of hype around AI. And in some sense, the large AI companies need to create that hype to raise the tens or actually hundreds of billions of dollars of investment that are going into the field. Like, you wouldn't be able to raise hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll spend, and Larry can probably correct me on this, but roughly $600 billion this year.
Well, humanoid robotics will advance very quickly. I think we do have some of the Tesla Optimus robots doing simple tasks in the factory. We expect probably later this year. By the end of this year, I think they'll be doing more complex tasks, but still deployed in an industrial environment. And probably sometime next year, I'd say that by the end of next year, I think would be selling humanoid robots to the public. That's when we are confident that it's very high reliability, very high safety. And the range of functionality is also very high. You can basically ask it to do anything you'd like.
and lastly, I just want to, because I thought it was so profound, I want to end this forum with a quote that Elon Musk said in closing yesterday's session, that it's better to be an optimist and wrong than be a pessimist who's right. So on that note, enjoy. See ya.
Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures in Wall Street. I hope you are doing well. If you hadn't had a chance, go ahead and like and subscribe our Rumble channel, our YouTube channel. We're also on Spotify. I would really greatly appreciate it, as the more listeners and followers, the more this program grows. I've been at this for over 4 years now, so hundreds of episodes. Feel free to go back and look at them. And just to remind you guys, like, this was all started because of my frustrations as a financial advisor on Wall Street and dealing with big banks and exposing my frustrations as an advisor, what I couldn't do, from being a stockbroker to knowing some things about the industry that really bothered me. So feel free to go back years of podcasts. It can be a little lengthy, but I do love talking about charts and, more importantly, our faith Our faith is really everything. Money is just a tool that we use to get by and pay the bills, a tool that we need to physically survive. So I tend to avoid a lot of the hype. Look, I am conservative as you can conservatively get, but I understand that because of my bias, that doesn't make you a good trader or doesn't make you a good investor. You have to put on a different mindset when it comes to the charts, because just like the weight room, the mirror doesn't lie, the weight scale doesn't lie, regardless of your feelings, regardless of anything. And as you dig deeper into the psychological way your brain works, it will seek comfort, it will seek pleasure, and it will naturally resist any type of resistance or conflict. And so that's how our brain works. And so when we look at charts and people invest, they get euphoric or they get excited and they throw all the technical analysis, all the principles of buying low and selling high out the window. So we get emotionally drawn into, for an example, silver is a great example. We get emotionally drawn into shorting Johnson & Johnson because we didn't believe in what they've done with the vaccine. We get emotionally attached to Pfizer and shorting them and making money on their downfall. Although that is a bias, and although this is something that you might have to work on, it still doesn't negate the fact that the banks are there to trap you. The market's there to eat you alive. There is no friends on the charts. There's no friends on Wall Street. It is either a buyer or a seller. And they're both after the same thing. And that's what creates a market. Also, we have banks that have billions of dollars that are whales that can move markets. They are market makers. More importantly, now we have these market makers with robotics and AI algorithms that are all automated. So the stock market is manipulated. Doesn't mean that you can't make money in the market. Doesn't mean it's all bad, right? There is a lot of evilness on Wall Street. And I really believe, because we believe a certain way, that really hurts us when it comes to investing. And I'm the first one to admit, I understand that you think the dollar is going to crash. We're going to prove that it is going down. There is a chart to show and suggest that, yes, the American dollar is weakening. This is why the cost of silver is going up. This is why gold is hitting 5,000. I told you guys silver would hit 100 by mid-March, and I was wrong. It's hitting the end of January. It's parabolic. What do we do with our silver? How do we turn it to income? What is the whole purpose of buying silver? Is it true insurance? Is it the ability to protect our money? Or is it an actual investment? For me, guys, I bought silver as a bug out bag investment. I never planned to use it as an investment. I have prop bars here. They're real silver bars, and I get them from Cornerstone. And I think I bought them for like $3 or $4 grand. These are beautiful 10-ounce silver bars, and I just had them so you guys could see that. You could see I have silver bars, that I'm a believer in them, and I think it makes a great prop on a podcast. Actually, you probably can't even see it from that camera, but here you can. And I like precious metals. It's off grid. It's anti-CBDC as long as you hold it. And more importantly, it really is a cool site. It really is a cool site. So I think I bought this for like $3,500 when silver was like 18, 20, somewhere around there. I can't remember. And now these are over $1,000 a bar. I remember these were just shy of $300 a bar. And I would give them away to like the landscaper. I would give them away every time my dad would come visit. Hey, put this in your pocket. It's going to be worth something. And hopefully they didn't sell it, that they actually have it. because one silver bar is now $102. Melt value, it really depends on what your broker is going to charge you. Most brokers charge about 10%. The guys are there to make money off of you. They're going to be charging 25, 30%. So you can call Cornerstone 888-747-3309 to purchase or to sell. I'm not here to give advice if you should sell it. I'm not here to give advice if you should buy it. It's just information. That is up to you. I really feel that you would need a licensed financial advisor to give you their advice and their technical analysis on when's a good buy and hold strategy for you. But the thing with precious metals is that you cannot generate an income from it. And I also want to talk about, what do we do with our precious metals? For those of you that have bought, a lot of people have called my firm, and they either have precious metals, they don't know what to do with it, or more importantly, they don't know if they should buy or sell. I kind of want to talk about those things and my views on it. As a retirement planner, as a trader, there's different mindsets. So I think the first thing that we need to talk about is, why did you buy precious metals? What is the whole purpose of it? Was it like me, a bug out bag scenario, and whatever it's worth, whatever it's worth? For me, I got a bug out bag with ammo, dry foods. I don't have my passports in there, but I have a few lifesaver straws, and obviously precious metals, and some ammo, and what else? Some dry foods, seeds. What else is in my bug out bag? First aid kit. I have a family of 6. We're 6, and so it's my responsibility to be able to provide and protect and shelter them as a man. And so that's what my bug out bag is for. In an event that Armageddon hits, you are responsible as a man to provide and protect your family. Now, I could live in the woods. I have no problem living in the woods. I don't know about my kids and my wife, but that's another challenge I have to work through, right? What I'm getting at, guys, is that when is it a good time to buy or sell silver? And I want to have a conversation about that, because I think that question is important. I think the real answer is, what is the objective of your precious metals? For many of my clients that have bought precious metals, maybe through Cornerstone or on their own, there is no telling if your objective has changed. Initially, the reason why you bought precious metals was to protect yourselves from a declining dollar. And I get it, the dollar has declined tremendously, and we're going to pull up charts here. A lot of people have bought it for insurance, but it really isn't insurance. Precious metals have been up over 190% in 2025. Silver alone has been up over 187%, and also 30% just in this month alone. Is gone parabolic. The reason why people didn't buy, or the reason why people bought silver, is not because they love the shiny little metal. They bought silver because they simply just don't trust papers anymore. They don't trust paper, the printed paper. As we continue to print more money, you're going to see more printed money this year and next year. And when they start doing that, you'll see the chart going down. The US dollar has been in decline literally since the Federal Reserve has been out. But the key points why people bought silver is they just don't trust the economy. And, you have inflation eating purchasing power. You have banks that are over leveraged. You have markets that are just manipulated. And we have a government that practically is addicted to debt. If you look at COVID, if you look at sending money to Israel, sending money to Taiwan, sending money to Ukraine, it's like we're being extorted. It's terrible. A prudent man foresees danger and hides himself. Proverbs 22:3. We've talked about this verse so much. A prudent man foresees danger and hides himself. The question is, do you really feel that is dangerous? I think many of you don't. That these moves are so parabolic. I think many people are going to get greedy that silver is skyrocketing. And when the banks actually figure it out on how to short it, like they did in GameStop and AMC for many, many years, or before that happened, I would say the banks got burnt on AMC and GameStop. But there is so much manipulation, guys. It is red money. I think we forget that red money, the definition of red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look up The Color of Money by Carlos Cortez on Rumble or YouTube, and you'll see my podcast there. But red money is the definition of red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You have no control of the market price. You have you have unknown fees. Like you either don't know or you forgot and they told you. But regardless, the fees could go up or down. The price is going up and down. Literally is a Wall Street casino. And yes, your silver, your gold, your palladium, your platinum, it's all red money. Your home is red money. Your land is red money. If it goes up in value and down in value, it is red money. No matter how you look at it, it has risk. Risk is red money. When you do not have risk, now you're talking about green money. You're talking about insurance-based programs that have guarantees on your principal, but could go up with an index. The only risk that you have is interest rate risk, and all the strengths are backed by the institution that's backing that particular program or product or insurance product up. And there's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast on that. But the general idea is that you have a security versus a non-security. And so that's a huge difference because now you're getting to contract law instead of securities laws or commodity laws. And so silver is a commodity. It is mandated by the FTC and the CFTC. Sorry, not the FTC, the CFTC. And so I just want you guys to understand, let's come back to reality. Reality is that I'm not anti-precious metals, obviously. I just want you guys to be smart. At what point do you need silver to go to? Will it go to $300-$400? Absolutely. Maybe not this year, but definitely by next year. The new target, I believe, is going to be 135, and then we'll see a psychedelic or a psych level where we'll see a little bit of retracement. And I want to talk about retracements and technical analysis on silver. But I also think that silver has more upside than Bitcoin at this point, short-term wise. I'm going to pull up both charts here. Let me write it down so I don't. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee. Yes, a guarantee on your principal and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. So going back to silver and BTC, I want to say, and I know I'm going to ruffle a bunch of feathers here, and people are going to like not follow me. They're going to like hate me for speaking my mind and my truth, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, I'm just being real. I'm being honest, and I'm being smart because it's biblical. And people don't like scriptures when it makes them uncomfortable. A prudent man foresees danger and hides himself. And this is where people get stuck. They treat silver like salvation instead of a tool. And what I'm going to talk about is just different tools. I think you should know about ZSL. ZSL is a shorting silver. I'm not saying you should short silver, but you need to know that the banks are going to be pressuring. The banks are going to figure out how to short silver when they pull the rug on this bad boy. The neat thing about silver that I am passionate about is that it's one of the actual commodities that has been extremely manipulated. What I love is that, like oil, for instance, oil is either consumed, it's burned, or distributed. So, or sold, I would say. So you sell the oil, you can consume it, burn it, sell it, and it has a huge demand. It has more demand than silver because it's global, it's worldwide. Silver is starting to be the new digital oil. Silver is also two components of silver. Silver is very unique because it is an industrial metal. Lululemon uses it in their shirts for anti-stink, for bacterial sanitary reasons, for athletic clothes. Silver is used in so many ways, not just solar, not just military, but also in AI and in computer technology. When they realize that, hey, there's no more silver in the Bolivian mountains anymore, they're all gutted. They're going to figure out a way to find another metal. Maybe it's platinum, maybe it's copper, maybe it's palladium, but they're going to use other metals because there is no more silver left in the world. To mine silver it's almost daggone near impossible. So silver naturally will go up, but the banks don't want it to go up because they've been manipulating it for so long. They have shorts. They have shorts on silver, and one silver contract is 5,000 units at spot price. And they have $4,000 contracts. So we see the banks getting into shorts, and there's longs, and then the price just going parabolic. So let me show this chart real quick. So if we look here, here is the chart on silver, right? It just went parabolic. The red is going to be the people, the banks, the institutions that are long, meaning they want the prices of silver to go up. The blue is going to be the opposite side, the seller side. They make money when silver goes down. Notice that these bars, if you were to stand upside down, you'll see them a little better. But notice that there's more shorts back in third quarter, right before August and July, that there were more shorts here, meaning there was institutions that wanted to short it. We had more shorts there, 25,000 shorts versus 21. So it just went down by 10% just in late Q3, early Q3 of last year. And so the shorts are getting particularly less and less. Now we're at 17,000 contracts of shorts versus earlier or late last year, late summer, where we had 25,000 shorts. So the shorts are actually, the selling pressure is getting lighter. And if we look at this numerological table here, we see that there's 17,000 shorts, like we said, 15 from last week, 18 from the other 21. So the question is, are the banks releasing those naked shorts? Are they finally giving up and saying, you know what, we're no longer going to be suppressing the price of silver? You see, silver is manipulated, in my opinion, guys, is being controlled by the banks having these naked shorts out there. Now, one number is 5,000 ounces. 5,000 ounces, guys. This is just this little stack here is one. To give you a context, 4, 5, 6, 6. This is 18. This is 18 stacks of silver bars. That one contract, 5,000 would fill my whole podcast desk here. It is massive. So one contract is massive. Like one contract is, I want to say $500,000 at today's price. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. So one contract right now at silver at 102.75 is $513,750. So one contract is well over $500,000, just shy of $514,000. At today's prices at 102.75. So as we look at this chart, just know that one of these contracts of the 17,751, just one contract is worth a little over $500,000, $513,750. That's nuts. It's a lot of money, guys. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe one or two contracts will fulfill your whole retirement. I know what you're thinking. And that's what these big banks are messing with. I mean, I want you to understand that this is red money. We have buyers and sellers like this, and the price just goes parabolic. This is not my chart, guys. This is on just a third party public site. I'm not here to give advertise for Titan FX. They're just the one providing a very clean chart that they're pulling from the CFTC. So as we acknowledge this, how do we pull income from an asset that is parabolic, an asset that's going to continue to rise as inflation gets worse, as global tensions worsen, as we face so many problems with the current landscape? Just 2026 alone is different from 2025. You guys understand that. Do we sell our silver? In my opinion, I think it's time to start looking at reducing your silver position, 10 or 15%. Take it off the table, lock in profits. Some of you might have to do 50%. I know that sounds crazy because you're literally walking away with a potential doubling of your asset this year. But what good if we're at the blackjack table? And trust me, I know a lot about blackjack. I used to play it all the time. I got really good at it. And Satan used that to open up some other strongholds in my life. One strategy I did learn in blackjack, and it's a great strategy. It's what made me successful on the blackjack table from a profitability standpoint, is that there's this strategy called a color me in strategy. If you're starting out with $2,500, like I used to do, and that $2,500 now becomes $5 or $6 grand, what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of that money, actually in 500 increments. Every $500, you want to push it to the dealer and say, color me in after the cards are dealt. After the cards are collected, sorry. And what this does, it actually creates a lock-in in your brain, like you're locking in those profits. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. So the reason why people buy silver is, going back to it, it's more of an insurance style play. It's insurance on your money is what we're fed and taught. And it is insurance. It's a hedge. I call it a hedge. There's a difference between insurance and hedging. Now, if you want to hedge, you could buy call options. You can buy options. Options are a security. It's a derivative. You can use it to protect your principal in certain ways. You can use it to sell naked shorts or covered calls and generate an income. I actually like covered call strategies better than real estate, because if you own XYZ stock and you sell a call option, you can generate income every single week, every single month, however you position it. And if the price goes beyond that sell, that put, selling puts, selling calls, if that price hits that certain strike price, you are covered because you own the actual stock. So this is why they call it a covered sell. Silver reminds me of this prolific swing in the markets. What I want to say is that there is a strategy out there that many people, actually no one has really talked about, and it's using shorting silver. So I wanted just to show the vulnerabilities of silver right now. And the reason why I'm talking about silver is because I want people to realize, is it a good time to buy it right now? Is it a good time to sell it? What do we do? We're in the green. There's so many variables right now. And I kind of want to talk about the long-term projection versus short-term projection. And if you're retired or not, it really depends on what your objective of this, call it newfound fortune, of this money. And as we look at silver right now, as we know, this is going to continue to rise. The momentum is massive. We got green traffic lights, short-term, midterm, and long-term. We have our MACD is completely like off the charts. Our momentum index is off the charts. This has gone parabolic. It is going higher. Right now, 102, that has an average trading range of $5.86, meaning it could move. It moves $5.86 on average per day. So at 102, it could, on Monday when it opens up, it could move to 107. That would not be out of its range. It could continue to go from 107 to 113. I believe the next support level, if I had to really, really think, would be 135, if I'm guessing. Now, the question is, do I buy silver right now and sell it at 135? Well, I can't give recommendation. I just know that this is going to go parabolic. Now, if we look at the fundamentals, technical speaking, if I knew nothing about silver, this was a regular asset that I had no emotional ties to. And trust me, I got plenty of silver, not just on my desk, because I bought it at 17 and just wrote it all the way up. And I haven't sold any yet. I think if you're retired, I'm young though. I can take the risk. But if you're 60, 55, 65, you might want to start, in my opinion, shaving off 10, 15%. Maybe go buy some land. Maybe go buy some green money. Guarantee. Be that purple chip. Remember, I was talking about the blackjack. Trade in those $500 worth. Get a purple chip. Put it in your pocket. Every $500 you accumulate, turn it in, put it in your pocket. And you're actually building wealth, not hastily. You're compounding the wealth. You're putting it away so that when this actually comes down, because it eventually will, all things come down. And the old saying, what must come up must come down, is true. The financial gravity will eventually push us down. We know there's a lack of silver, and the future is promising. I mean, we could see this thing go to $400 probably in the next 2 to 3 years. It could go parabolic. Like it already is going parabolic. If we pan out, guys, like look at this. This is insane, this chart. So silver's been hot right now, but if we pan out over the years, it's never been this high. Let me take out my buy and sells. So hopefully that's a little cleaner there. But if we look at the history of silver, it has been flatlined for a very, very long time. We didn't have the demand like we have now. And then all of a sudden, over the past, call it 20 years, so far, over 10 years, my chart doesn't go that far. Actually, it does. It's never seen this massive momentum over the past 60 years, guys. I mean, I'll go back historically. Look at this chart, man. Holy smokes. Like it really never went negative. Ever. Oh, this is back in the 70s. 2010, 2016, 2020, it was even when the market was down in 2020, it was at $22. It hit a high of 27. That was pretty massive in 21. And as we pan over to 2026, we see that it touched 103 and is starting to take off as computers and AI and tracking and the demand for silver has reached a new high. We'll see this puppy continue to rise. So the question is, when do we sell? Well, we are in uncharted waters. What I can say is from a biblical standpoint, Proverbs 10:22, the blessing of the Lord makes rich and he adds no sorrow with it. Proverbs 10:22. Silver didn't save you and God didn't save you. Income won't save you, but God is a source. Everything else is a servant. So we have to understand that this knowledge of having silver and the ability just to have silver laying in our gun safe and laying on our desk or whatever underneath your bed, it's there for a tool. It's there for a season. At some point, you're going to have to just sell it, turn it in, and do the purple chip. The question is, when are you going to do that? Because I will tell you, it will come down. And I know that goes against your brain, because how can it ever go down when the mountains are being gutted from silver? How can it ever go down when there's a monetary component to it? How can it ever go down when there's an industrial component to it, where industries need silver, military enforcement needs silver to produce these weapons? There's so much things that literally silver could use. Fundamentally speaking, like we can go on and on, like the uses of silver, it's massive. I totally get why you buy it. But at some point, guys, it is red money. You need to understand that the emotional trading cycle, we're going to feel euphoric, and people are feeling euphoric right now. And that's when you should sell. I'm not saying sell all of it. I'm a big proponent of, if you had 100 grand in silver and it's worth 200,000, take $100,000 off, sell it, put it in a safe environment, because you're locking in those gains. And more so if you're retired. If you're retired, why not lock in that equity and guarantee it with a green money solution program that generates an income for you? Some people have locked in their profits. I know this one client had like 1 million. He put in like 400 grand. It's worth like a little over $1 million. He took 800 grand, bought some land. That land is going to generate him income. I don't think that's the best way of doing it, But hey, it's there. I just don't want silver to come crashing down. And then you go through the emotional cycle of beating yourself up and stomaching. And it is the worst feeling that you ever have when you could have sold it and you didn't even lock in profits. So let's not get greedy with silver. Understand that something like this will grow parabolically and it will come crashing down. This happened with cotton recently. And also palladium looks good. But also, if you're looking to hedge yourself, if you're in the money with silver, you might want to look at ZSL. Now, this is not a long-term solution. You will lose money short-term here. This is a very, very leveraged ETF. You can't leverage ETFs long-term will eventually hurt you with the fees and the volatility. However, look at this puppy. Look at the momentum, the volume on this. People are selling their position at ZSL and it's dragging the price down. So just so you know what ZSL is, it's just an ETF that makes money when silver goes down. So this is going down tremendously. It's at 24 right now. ZSL will probably go, I don't know, maybe to $1. I want you to look at ZSL as a leading indicator where silver is going to go. The average trade range is about 65 cents currently right now. So if this is going down, that means silver is going up. The Bollinger Bands, the squeeze is almost happening right now. You see how this Bollinger Band, which is based on moving averages, got wide and then it got squeezed and then it went down. Well, it's going to get squeezed again, and it could go up or down. There's going to be there's going to be a volatile pattern here. Unfortunately, if this goes up, that means silver is going down. So I would just use this as educational purposes to protect you from a collapse in silver. Whatever the banks try to do, just be prepared, guys. Be smart about this. The other component is, if we looked at the volatility index, the volatility index is growing. We had a death cross, basically meaning that it's hitting it's going below the 200-day moving average. Okay, golden cross and death cross. All this means is volatility, guys. As the market rises, this goes down. It went up, the volatility index, because the market had a bad week last week. So we're in a sideways pattern is what I'm getting at. So if I pan over to the S&P 500, you can see that we are in a sideways pattern. I'm not even talking about Greenland. I'm not talking about all the noise, the terrorist attacks, the geopolitical risk. I'm just showing you the charts. I don't want to listen to the news right now. I want to show you the actual charts because the charts don't lie. If you study the charts and if you're non-emotional about it, the news actually just helps your bias. You know, how many times I've been on this camera and I said, I told you so, or I done some type of technical analysis, fundamental analysis and shot calls. And next thing you know, the news is out there saying, hey, there's tokenization in the stock market. There's tokenization that's going to bring in more data control, more track tracer control. So it actually led me to buying tracktracercontrol.com. So I am going to be talking about that and adding some content there. I'm working on several projects. So that's one project I would like to work on. Again, there's no monetary mission on it. It's just providing information. So what we have here is the S&P growing. We are still in a sideways pattern. This is our weekly chart. I'll pan over to a daily chart. You see this sideways? We're in a sideways pattern. Our momentum is crossing. It's still in that middle channel. We do have selling pressure. We have numbers coming out into January, obviously, GDP numbers and other things. But for the most part, for the past month or two, we've just been in this sideways pattern. And this is on a daily chart. If I pan over to a 4-hour chart, it will show the same thing, sideways pattern, but we're on a daily chart here and a weekly. So you see our Bollinger Bands. I mean, it hasn't gone parabolic like silver, but yet we also know if we look at the US dollar, this is why silver is going down, because our dollar has been going down tremendously. And we haven't even started printing paper yet, like the way they're probably going to be doing, because our economy's in a gutter. So we got a sell bar here back in November, Thanksgiving, on the dollar. So the US dollar is going down. On the first half of 2025, the largest annual drop since 1970 has happened in the first half of 2025. And we see that right here. Boom. Look at that massive drop. None of this has ever happened since the 1970s. We have Fed policy that's obsessed with debt and printing money. They've been cutting rates to try to manipulate the market. So we have fiscal risks, obviously. And as silver rises, it actually hurts the dollar, because now foreign investors will just go to the platinums, the palladiums, the silver, the golds of the world, and that will grow. So our dollar is going down. Now, here's the bad part, guys, is that we don't want the dollar to go to zero, because America would go to zero. So we want to be pro-American, right? We wish our dollar luck. We still want to be somewhat of authority in the financial worlds, the financial geopolitical world. So what I'm getting at, guys, is that we need to be careful with being emotionally attached to the silver. And one great way to sell your silver is to just contact our office. We'll guide you through that process. And I'm not saying you sell all of it. What I'm saying is, if you're retired, 65, 70 years old, and you have a gold or silver IRA, it is time possibly to sell half of it. You don't want to mess with what's about to come. I know the sky's the limit with silver and precious metals, but you only get one shot to make this shot. You don't want your retirement to be a speculative asset. Secure your money, secure your retirement, and live off the basics, right? Like, make sure your mortgage and your car payment, your notes, your income, whatever it is, if it's $25,000 a month or $3,000 a month, let's make sure that your money is secured and that you have a retirement that will last you forever. The moment silver crashes or precious metals crashes, and it may never, but how does that make you feel to have your retirement on a probability? I don't think your spouse would like that. So it's important, really, really important. You made the smart decision to allocate to a precious metal that has gone up. And maybe you followed my covenant process. Maybe you put a third in precious metals, a third in some type of managed money, and a third into green money. You've won in all levels. But what I'm saying is, it's time to lock in profits. If you're older, maybe 50%. Let the other half run. If you're younger, maybe 10 or 15%. Let the 80% run. But you got to figure out what percentage you need to take out and allocate to income. Because the reason why precious metals is up, because inflation is crazy. The dollar's going down. Inflation's not going anywhere. It's getting worse. They're going to print money and print money and print money to try to lower inflation. It's not going to work. It's just going to create more debt. I'm on the same side as you are, but I just am trying to be smart about all this. So if you have red money, guys, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or just reach out to us. You can go to CortezWM.com, book an appointment. Also, Green Money Solution is now updated. We are offering a 29% bonus on our insurance product that will guarantee your principal. It's not in the stock market. It's not invested in silver or any other commodity or anything. It's actually an insurance product available in your state, possibly. It's not in every state, and every state is different. But in most states, it's a 29% bonus. You can add money to it for up to 3 years. You need 75 grand or more. And more importantly, your principal is guaranteed and protected. There is a fee, generally at 0.95, and all the guarantees are backed by the insurance company that you're doing business with. But you can go to greenmoneysolutions.com, book an appointment, and when you're seeking information, try not to look like a spam bot, because we've had over 65 spam bots on Green Money Solutions, and sometimes our staff can't even tell if it's a real person or not. So type in something personable. Hey, like, I like the color of your t-shirt, or I'm a real person. I live here, and I like option 4. I might have to change the filters around and prove that you're a human and not a spam bot. But anyways, yeah, just know that there might be some changes on the information request form, and we can navigate that on an individual basis. But most importantly, God bless you. If you haven't had a chance, go to getmeleanusa.com, get you some great peptides. They have the fit, they have the lean if you're looking to build muscle and lose fat. Also, if you're looking to sleep well and be energized, they have peptides for that as well. Go to getmeleanusa.com, get your performance pack. You can cancel anytime. And all the proceeds, we don't make a ton of money off of it, but all the proceeds do help the show, this podcast and everything else. Also, our AmericaFirstWater.com. If you do not like fluorinated water and you want living physical water, go to AmericaFirstWater.com and subscribe to the newsletter. There's a great newsletter about things you should be asking about the water that you're drinking. I honestly believe that the government doesn't have our best interest in the water that we're drinking, and those fluorinated chemicals are just killing us. Why is it in Japan that they live long lives? Well, they completely have different water systems, and they don't have low alkalinity in their water. So go to AmericaFirstWater.com or Get Me Lean USA to lose some weight and build some muscle and sleep well. And if you are interested in having a conversation about your retirement, go to CortezW1.com or GreenMoneySolutions.com. God bless you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel, our YouTube channel. And I am here to help you. I look forward to speaking with all of you. And that being said, I'm outie. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural, groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to getmeleanusa.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out.